we have connected, as you can see, with our friend Vivek Oberoi. Vivek doesn't need too much of an introduction. I mean, he's an actor. I think people in the early days saw him in the hit movie Company, but my favorite show of his is not a movie, but Inside Edge, where he had a dramatic role, which I loved. I binge watched all 3 seasons of that. And so we really wanted to kind of close out our Climate Action Forum by having Vivek bring the perspective of Bollywood, of actors telling a story of how the soft power of the Indian community can really create a big impact on climate. So Vivek, you're the closing keynote, if you will. So please take it away. I'm sorry you couldn't join us, but live to see the audience and to participate in the entire session, but the floor is now yours.
MR, I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes, we can.
Firstly, I'd just like to thank MR for inviting me to speak at the Climate Action Forum. I think MR is a force to reckon with, and so is the entire team at Indiaspora. You guys have been doing some incredible stuff. If I didn't have to film in Mumbai, I would have loved to be there and interact with the brilliant minds in the room. I mean, Indiaspora always puts together a great platform for some incredible, leaders in their own fields to come together, share views, and that converts to action. So since it's, in Bollywood parlance, exactly what is required right now, we need action heroes. And therefore, the Climate Action Forum is a wonderful platform to move forward. I think I look at this opportunity to share, from my perspective, 2 aspects of, what am I doing? We all know how important climate action is, and we need it now. I mean, we think about our children, we think about securing their future through fixed deposits, asset purchases, savings, and things like that, buying them a home for the future. But none of it matters if the climate fails us or we fail the climate. That's the biggest failure that I feel we would be facing as a father of 2 kids. It's of great concern to me when I hear and see the way our carbon footprint is constantly impacting our environment right in front of our eyes. So what are we going to do about it? I think for me personally, there's 2 aspects to it. One, as a Bollywood actor, using the soft power of cinema, using the celebrity that I've been blessed with. And 2 is as an investor, as somebody who runs my family office, who's constantly looking at investing in social impact for-profit companies, looking for circular economies to build on the basis of ESGs. So these are the 2 aspects that I'd like to share a few things about. I think not many people know, but Switzerland was never a favored destination in India until one man made it so, and that man was Yash Chopra. He started, shooting and that was also interesting. Why? Because Kashmir was the favorite spot for people to shoot romantic songs in the 60s and 70s, and then with trouble brewing in Kashmir in the 80s, they couldn't go there and film. It just became very difficult. And as an option, they chose Switzerland, and Yashji started shooting movies in Switzerland. And suddenly you had 2 decades that followed of young honeymooners from India flying to Switzerland, giving a boost to their tourism economy, which they never expected. And even today, the valley in which he used to shoot is named after him. And that's the soft power that Bollywood and celebrity holds. And I constantly make it my endeavor to support, nonprofits, government institutions, initiatives that have been going on, even through our climate action plan in India. There's been a lot of work, especially with the current dispensation, the last 10 years, under Modi ji. It's been a lot of action, whether it was the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, which was, engaging people to come forward and, go beyond their immediate environment. And get awareness to create. The first step was cleanliness. The second step was waste reduction. So there's a lot of engagement that happened at multiple levels. And India is not an easy country to work with. We have our own complications. I want to share. I started a project about 15 years ago called Devi. The objective was to rescue girls from child prostitution, forced labor, slave labor, and child marriage, and those kind of social ills, and empower them with education, empower them with the right nutrition, healthcare, absolutely free. I'm kind of very proud of myself and the team that actually does the work on the ground, that we've helped rescue more than 15,000 girls over the last 14 years, and empowered them. But an interesting observation I had was when the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan started, and I was visiting our schools in Vrindavan, and I set out on a mission to take this army of young girls to go out there and clean the streets with me. And it was interesting because, we're religious kind of people, we're very spiritual as a society, and Vrindavan is Krishna Bhumi, full of incredible temples, and yet you found so much trash littered all over the streets. So we set out to, clean the streets. And something I never expected, and sitting in Mumbai, I would have never dreamed of. There was a resistance from some of the girls, and I was like confused why this was happening. And they said, well, this is not something that we do as far as our caste is concerned. We can't be seen holding a broom and cleaning up litter on the streets. I said, don't you do it at home? Don't you clean your own homes? And they were like, yeah, we do. We'd sweep the house, we'd, do a katka pocha, but we can't do it on the street. And I realized the only way to break through was, rather than trying to guilt them, I wanted to engage them. And I think that's the difference when we're speaking to the younger generation, to get them engaged rather than, get them on a guilt trip. And I just picked up a broom and started sweeping, started cleaning up, collecting litter and putting it into a bag. Some of the other kids followed. And before we knew it, we had an army of about 1,500 girls cleaning up the street, and were excited to do it yet again on another day. So we broke through that mindset. We broke through hundreds of years of a certain kind of thinking just by initiating something, doing it, ourselves. And being a celebrity really helps with this kind of, engagement. And that's why, one tries to leverage it. I believe that the kind of impact every one of these initiatives have taken, whether it's cleaning of the rivers, my association with Sadhguruji on that, and now with soil regeneration, the focal point has always been how to engage people more, how to gamify it, socialize it, how to get more people engaged rather than fear. I believe that that's where we've gone wrong in our storytelling. This constant fear is unsustainable. Fear works in short durations of time. You can create impact, you can create fear, and then people forget all about it and just move on. They normalize. But the minute you do engagement, the minute you make somebody feel a part of something, you gamify, you reward, it makes it much more long lasting and sometimes even permanent as an impact, because you feel part of something that you are. So many of us join a organization, a YPO or a group, your ex-batchmates from school make a WhatsApp group, and then you feel compelled to be a part of it and engage in there. And that's the whole idea, to tap into that aspect of the mindset. No matter how much my wife, Priyanka, and I try to teach our children about climate and awareness in terms of environmental impact of every little action that they take to make them conscious citizens of the future, putting on a great documentary by the Attenboroughs changes and creates more of an impact, more of a love, more of an affinity towards this immeasurable wealth that we have and we're squandering as a civilization, than 2 hours of lecturing. That engagement and the questions that emanate from it and the commitment that comes out of it is far more deep and far-reaching. So I think that Bollywood has the ability, social evils, right from the 50s, 60s, talking about dowry to, Three Idiots that, spoke about the pressure that parents put on their children, the potential suicides of students. These are fun, engaging, entertaining ways to bring attention to an issue and allow people to process that. It's the sugar coating on the bitter pill. Unfortunately, I feel we haven't done enough with climate yet. And I think we need to find a way to structure incentivization. Myself included, a lot of us fly to countries that invite us to shoot there with a subsidy. And they say, look, 20%, 25%, even 40% of what your cost is, we will subsidize as long as you come in and shoot the film here and, show this country of ours and its in all its beauty and its culture to the 1.4 billion Indians back home, looking at it as an investment in tourism. Now, if there was some sort of incentivization like that on two sides of the spectrum, ones who are creating content to be incentivized to create engaging, fun, interesting content, just starting with a hackathon in terms of stories, ideas that could be fun and engaging, but the central theme could be climate, not just the American disaster films, but a lot more. Or central characters being somebody who are climate activists. You never see that in any of our content. You rarely have a mention of something in that space. So an incentivization program would be a great way to start. And on the other end of the spectrum, to incentivize the cinema goers, engage them, make some sort of a two-way, connect, which would have rewards down the line. So as the chairperson of the Oberoi family office and an avid investor in impact companies, we've been working on multiple things. We've been working on a platform company called Do-Be, which tries to bridge the gap using AI and tech between just being and converting that into actually doing. A lot of us want to do things, in our lives. We get inspired in a moment and say, I'd really like to be a part of something like this. I'd like my life to have more purpose. And this platform, Do-Be, empowers not just the people involved, people who are just looking to participate, volunteer, engage, but also companies, nonprofits, government institutions. So it creates a singular platform to champion a cause, especially related to the climate. We've been working for the last 7 years through our family office on a technology that hopes to create a circular economy empowering rural women with the collection of agricultural waste and producing product, clean energy out of these wastes, which are burnt. We keep seeing the clouds of smoke, around Delhi NCR every time it's crop season. The parali burning fires are seen from space. The pollution is seen from space, and that's how intense it is. You see everybody in the NCR region masking up without any COVID, and this is impacting millions of children and their ability to breathe clean air on a daily basis. And what if we could turn this around into a resource? What if we could turn this around into something that would build a circular economy around it, empowering millions of women farmers or rural women and making them entrepreneurs using technology? That idea to me is something that's extremely powerful and exciting. And we've been working on it, investing in it, bringing the best minds and technology into it for the last 7 years. And I'm hoping that 2024 will be the big year that we roll out, since we've had a very successful year with our pilots. So this is the kind of impact that one's constantly looking at, empowering EV companies, bringing in the right kind of attention to them, to the most efficient EV companies, looking at investing in a company that addresses generator sets, any kind of power generation, the kind of emissions that come from it. We're investing in a company right now that's developed a technology that would reduce the emissions substantially and reduce the pollution that generator sets in India emit. And we're trying to find a way to incentivize people, whether it's through carbon credits or other government incentives, link it through to create a singular platform that makes it easy to be part of something and motivates people to say, hey, I think I need that product, and that's going to help not just my business efficiency in terms of the power generation, but also do my bit in reducing pollution that affects my immediate environment and will affect generations to come. So those are the kind of things that we're looking at as a family office and doing our bit. In a summation of what I wanted to say today is that no bit is too little. One has to take an initiative to move forward and do things, and leveraging whatever network we have, resources we have, or in my case, the popularity that I've been blessed with for the right causes, to create advocacy, to create awareness. And the third step would be to create engagement, because that's where we generally lose the link. We have a great event, we talk about something incredible. Shiv Khemka was on in Diaspora today, and I was so impressed with what they did with Global Citizen at T-Guelph. But the follow-up on that at a grassroots level, to allow people to continue engaging and making it a part of their daily life. 15 minutes spent every single day, just not even 15, 5 minutes every single day spent on just thinking about what I can do in a small little way to reduce my own personal carbon footprint. And not guilting them that, oh, you have a pool in your house, or you just took a long haul flight, but empowering them to make better choices, smarter choices, and saying, okay, if I did this, how do I set it off? We try to do it in our film industry. Whatever sets I film on, I try to, create alternatives to simple things like plastic bottles. I mean, 200 people on a set, they do those mini bottles, the small, 200 milli bottles. People are drinking 2, maybe 3 liters of water a day. That's 600 liters multiplied by 4 in terms of just the plastic litter. Either find a way to recycle it or replace it. Engage with people, create environments even in your daily work sphere, and have a buddy system of not just sharing the wealth of knowledge that you have with the people around you, but allowing them to engage with you in a certain way that keeps you and them on the path. I think it's the little choices that will make the big difference. It is time for climate action, and I think we're far from ready. But the fact that we're thinking about it, the fact that we're talking about it, the fact that we're spending so much time around the COP28 discussing these things fills us with a sense of responsibility and awareness. And the next step should be action. It gives me great pride when I Google the biggest solar plant in the world, and you come up with Bhadla. And when you look at where India was in its contribution in terms of renewable energy, say in 2004, in 2006, in 2008, it was insignificant. And now you're in the top 4 or 5 countries in the world in terms of renewable energy production. You have a 2.5 gigawatt plant near Jodhpur in Bhadla, which is enough to power an entire metro. So it's possible. Something that happened in just a decade of visualizing it, thinking it, and then executing it. I remember when Modi ji was the chief minister of Gujarat, and per unit cost of solar power was something in the range of, 16 or 18 rupees per unit. And I thought it's just unsustainable financially. And I told him that, why would you do it? It's not scalable, it's unsustainable. And he said that, well, you're here and I'm here, and you'll see that one day solar power will be cheaper than most other forms of energy. And at that moment, I didn't see the vision, but now I do. So I think the next decade is about the action, about collaborating and inspiring each other, and creating an engagement with Gen Z to get involved, to gamify, to socialize, to make them part of something, to make them feel like they're part of something and not just being told off. So these are my thoughts, and thank you again to my dear friend MR and the entire team at Diaspora. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person, but you guys are doing a phenomenal job. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Vivek. Really appreciate it. You're more than an action hero, you're a climate action hero. So on that note, we thank you so much and wish you much success in your acting career. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.